Welcome back to Los Angeles. Fourth quarter set to begin here in Game 7 of this Western Conference semifinals. It's been all Lakers up by as many as 25. Burger King presents our late game adjustments. Doris Burke with head coach Phil Jackson.
Coach, in each Houston win, Aaron Brooks has had an impact on your team. What have you done more effectively with him?
Just what I said before the game. We got to hem him in, try to corral him, use the sideline and baseline to help us try and stop his speed, which is quite outstanding.
Andrew Bynum has been as effective as he's been all postseason. Why?
Well, you know, Andrew's a young player. He plays better at home. That's going to be part of it. But, you know, we do have an effective inside game because of size. And they're focusing on Powell, and Drew's getting some easy things.
Coach Jackson, thank you. Mike.
Well, Doris, the whole team plays better at home. The 6 home playoff games coming in, they average 110 points, shoot 51%. But it's been their home defense that really has been the key today, Jeff.
Yeah, they've swarmed right from the start. You've got to give them a lot of credit. Good bounce-back performance on the defensive end by the Lakers.
And I like that if you're defending Aaron Brooks, they have a strategy here this afternoon. So therefore, you know who's making a mistake, who's breaking down, because if he beats us, he's going to beat us in a certain direction, corralling him and forcing him in different areas.
The Lakers right now 12 minutes away from calming the Laker faithful. He was a little nervous and perhaps setting up that series with the Denver Nuggets as Luke Walton called for the foul. A 19-point game. Opening seconds here of the fourth quarter. 2 fouls on Walton. Shannon Brown's going to make his first appearance as Brian rests. Brown has played very well in the playoffs as a backup point. Right now playing the 2. Now they got 3 guards out there, and Farmar, Brown, and Vujicic.
And I like that Phil Jackson, as Brooks rises up, shortened his guard rotation in the first half. I thought it gave the Lakers better flow offensively.
Ball deflected out. Brown, who has played a lot, did not in the first half. It was just Farmar and Fisher. Fisher finally got some shots to go down.
Hard rotating minutes with 3-point runners.
Landry the drive. Can't finish. Gasol with his 15th rebound of the game. Big performance from Pau Gasol.
And he wanted to throw that ball at Scola.
And they've had a couple of pushes and shoves after the whistle. Brown, he's got terrific hops. Flips that one in. It's back to 21.
That was a fake hustle throw attempt. Neither one of these guys is Charles Oakley. He's here, but he's not in uniform.
Lowry the drive, tries to draw the foul. Gasol just went straight up. And we have a late whistle, but a foul call. It goes against Gasol. That's his second. Lowry to the line. Meanwhile, Tuesday night on ESPN, a big night of NBA programming. First at 8:30 Eastern, the 2009 NBA Draft Lottery, followed by the Western Conference Finals Game 1. It'll either be right here in LA, Lakers hosting the Nuggets, or if we see one of the great comebacks in NBA playoff history, it would be the Nuggets hosting the Rockets. 9 Eastern start. The lottery before, Sacramento will have the most ping pong balls. Blake Griffin, many feel, will be the #1 pick. 71-52. Lakers by 19. They have led by double figures most of the way since 7 minutes into the game. Gasol's tip, second effort. Gasol dominating down low. He's even screaming as he runs up the floor, showing some emotion.
There's a lot of screamers in this league. Up 20, Mike.
Lowry tried to save it, but it stepped out of bounds. Gasol with 15 points, 17 rebounds.
Gasol's just pounded the board. Again, nobody on him to block out. Good second jump and the dexterity to tip those balls with his left hand. Very good finish by Gasol.
An amazing skilled player for a 7-footer. Odom for 3. Coming up on 2 minutes gone by. And what has been a dominant Laker performance. Landry, short. Odom having some fun as he rips down the rebound. Mickey's talking to Landry as they come up the floor. Landry talking right back to him. Scola with the deflection. Odom pushes him off. Scola grabs his jersey and then the foul. And Odom wisely walks away. Scola frustrated.
The Lakers are being very loose with the ball. Here they got away with what should have been a turnover. Should have been a foul on Scola earlier, and then Scola gets the extra little bump.
The series early on, first couple of games, was very physical as Scola fouls Gasol. That's 4 on Scola. Certainly a little frustration.
But I don't even think it's frustration. I think it's a guy trying to close out a season. Scola's basically sending a message, we're going to go down, but we're going to go down on my turn. I'm going to continue to fight until this game is over. That's something to basically copy if you're another guy on the Rockets.
That's the kind of player he is, as Farmar misses. Wafer had a hot hand briefly in the second. Wafer blocked by Odom. Terrific defensive play. Farmar throws it behind, and Lowry comes up with it. And Wafer down the other end, able to finish. Nine block shots in the game for the Lakers. Vujacic, an air ball. Wafer can't get it to go. Brown the rebound, and a foul on Lowry. Didn't give Brown time to come down, or room to come down. And we'll have a timeout. Rockets trying to fight back, but right now to no avail. The Lakers cruising here in the fourth quarter. .837 remaining in the fourth quarter. Lakers continue to dominate. Some NBA celebs in attendance. The aforementioned Charles Oakley, former terrific Knick. Meanwhile, Gary Payton also watching, a former Laker late in his career. And of course, the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He's got to be proud of Andrew Bynum, who's having his best game of the playoffs. And as the Lakers have dominated this game right from the opening seconds. Brown shot short.
Do you think Kareem could have gotten 10 points tonight in an NBA game?
Vujacic to steal. He probably could. Vujacic to finish. Lowry did a good job trying to come back. Crowd wanted a foul. I think that's just a good hustle play. He's back up to 21.
And I say yes, and I'll also say those three guys plus you two could have beaten the Lakers one game in a series.
Blocked by Gasol, the 10th block shot of the game. Oakley probably could have got 10 rebounds in the game today. And Brown lost it out of bounds. Last touch by Lowry.
I'll tell you this. That guy could score on anybody, anywhere, anytime. Oakley was the best big man help defender in my time in the NBA, and Gary Payton was as hard to score against for a point guard as anybody.
Shot clock winding down. Vujacic for three. That's good. 24-point lead with 7.5 to play, and the Laker fans starting to celebrate.
And there's a bright spot of your Phil Jackson getting Vujacic going. Last air ball before the timeout as Scola scores in the last two plays. Looks like the old machine.
Pau Gasol with a huge game 7. Knocks down another. 17 points, 17 rebounds, and throw in 3 block shots. Wafer took his eye off it. And that's the 16th turnover for the Rockets. Turnovers have been a problem throughout the series for them.
We talked about Powell being most effective when he turns and faces. Here's a guy that has a variety of moves on the block. Certainly has the ability to make plays putting it on the floor.
Gasol, the drive. Beautiful move from Pau Gasol. And this is the largest lead of the game. Timeout, Rockets. They're on their feet at Staples Center.
Well, the ability to field the defense, spin off it, get all the way to the rim. Great footwork, great quickness. Tremendous finish by Pau Gasol.
It's looking like the Lakers and Nuggets will match up on Tuesday with 6:45 remaining here in the fourth. Every year, the spirit of racing returns to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Defending champion Scott Dixon, Elio Castroneves, and Danica Patrick compete to be champion of the greatest spectacle in racing. The Indianapolis 500, presented by GoDaddy.com, returns May 24th on ABC. Game 7 here at the Staples Center. No contest. Lakers dominating, now up by 26. It's time for our Bud Light freeze frame, Jeff.
And they've dominated the boards. 47-29. 11-second shots by the Lakers, 6 by Pau Gasol. Why? Size matters. Look at the length of Gasol. Good hands, catches it with his left, finishes with his left. And then again, no size by the smaller Aaron Brooks. Artest doesn't get a body on him. He finishes it again. And then one more time. No body, blocking out Gasol. Free run to the rim. 2 good left-handed tip attempts. Pau Gasol dominant rebounding game here today.
When you look at the fact that Kobe Bryant has just 14 points on 4 of 12 from the field, you'd never expect that this to be the type of blowout. But it's been a total team effort by the Lakers, especially on that defensive end, as Odom grabs the rebound. And this is so similar to Game 5 when they won by 40. That one was not a contest at all. Odom inside pass to Gasol, not expecting it.
I tell you, one group that's disappointed in the results so far this afternoon, that's the Denver Nuggets. Because truth be told, they would much rather face a short-handed Houston Rockets team than a loaded Los Angeles Lakers team that's tough to beat when they play hard.
And if they tell otherwise, they're not telling the truth.
It's just a fact. Yeah, it's just a fact. It's no knock. And he's not saying you're afraid of the Lakers. The bottom line is advancing and putting yourself in position to win.
And also against Houston, they'd have home court advantage. There's many reasons for them to want the Rockets to win.
The Lakers taking time off the clock on each possession. Odom pulls back, has to throw up the 3. That won't go. Brown tried to tip it. Comes away with a rebound. Good hustle from Shannon Brown. And the crowd shows its appreciation. Vujacic looking. The floater. Ball tipped and taken by Artest as we're coming up on 5 minutes remaining. And what will be a tough way to end the season for the Rockets, despite the fact that they impressed so many people during the playoffs, and especially here in this series as Landry misfires. You consider all the injuries that they had. And that was, of course, finalized by Yao Ming being injured in Game 3. The fact that they're even here, they deserve so much credit.
The interesting thing is you take a look on the sideline, Phil Jackson going back with Kobe Bryant in the ballgame. That's pretty dangerous, in my opinion.
Gasol putting on the finishing touches on a brilliant performance.
Interesting. I would like to know what his rationale is. As Kobe Bryant is sharing some of his thought with Brent Berry, like, you can't guard me. I hope you're guarding me.
Wait for misses. Gasol hauls in his 18th rebound. Well, if you look at the Rockets this year, 53 wins in the regular season. Made the second round for the first time in 12 years. They had lost 6 straight first-round matchups. Took some nice steps as the ball knocked out of bounds. But they will have a very big offseason coming up as Kobe Bryant will check back in the game. And a lot has to do with their injured stars. Yao Ming, they expect him to be back after the hairline fracture in his foot. Tracy McGrady, who's not here, he's back in Chicago rehabbing after the knee surgery. Both have had their share of injuries over the last several years, and it's tough to get momentum when your best players are always injured. And Vujacic knocks it down.
Well, you look at that free agent list, to me, the easiest decision the Rockets had this year because of what they gave up was to trade for Ron Artest. The harder decision is how much to commit to him, both money and years-wise, because of his unpredictable nature. And I think trying to sign Von Wafer, who has had a major impact, and then who's your backup to Yao Ming next year? You're going to stay small? Can you get a size veteran who can back up Yao Ming and keep his minutes down.
Artest, an unrestricted free agent. And again, Yao played 77 games this year. McGrady played very little. He's had the knee problems. They very rarely have had the two of them healthy. The team has such potential. And again, have such great role players around them.
And you really don't know when you're planning for next year, you have no idea when McGrady is going to be fully healthy off that microfracture surgery, which also impacts your decision making.
Well, it'll be interesting because as a team, as the crowd acknowledges Pau Gasol in his spectacular play all afternoon long.
He deserves it. 21 points, 18 rebounds, 3 block shots, aggressive right from the opening seconds.
The point I was making is interesting as a team. You can't say, okay, things are going to go well, we're going to be healthy, and we're going to pick up where we left off next year. It is important to continue to make the right moves to put yourself in position to have this similar type of run.
And I think Houston has one of the most underrated general managers in basketball in Daryl Morey. He has done an absolutely fabulous job in the complementary pieces to McGrady and Yao Ming. They're much better equipped now to play championship level basketball, as Vujacic knocks in another one, than they were 2 years ago. He's going to have another big offseason.
See, and you're better than me. I'm not giving a shout out to a guy that fired me. I'm just not doing it.
That's a good point. No, but he deserves it. Hey, the proof's in the pudding. Who he's drafted, who he's traded for, who he signed as a free agent. Done a remarkable job.
Well, he's got to be proud of his team, despite the fact they're getting waxed here in Game 7. The Lakers up by 31, setting up Tuesday's matchup in the Western Conference Finals with the Denver Nuggets. First 2 games will be right back here at the Staples Center. This one, no contest. A terrific performance in Game 7. Back in Los Angeles, 89-58. Today's aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. New Fuel Max tires get you there using less gas. Fuel Max only from Goodyear. A terrific series will end in a blowout as the Lakers will advance to the Western Conference Finals with a dominant performance over the Houston Rockets. And the question now, as Landry puts up a shot, for the pessimists, they'll say, all right, this series may be expose some weaknesses for the Lakers and maybe will take its toll, or you can look at it, this is the type of series that can strengthen them for future tough battles. Got them a little adversity and able to overcome it. Which way do you look at it, guys? Mark?
Well, for me, the way I look at it, I don't think the Lakers are going to be as inconsistent, because the respect level when you talk about the Denver Nuggets and the way that they're playing, the Lakers have no choice but to show up every single night, or they will be embarrassed, and the Denver Nuggets are a team that's more than capable of beating them. So I expect to see a great series, Coach.
To me, I don't think this series strengthened them or weakened them. I think they are who they are, as Banga showed hands of stone on that catch. But I just think they, you can't change players' personalities. They are who they are. They've got a great competitor. They've got great competitiveness in the backcourt. They're a little bit inconsistent in the front court.
Also, what today showed was what a difference an active Andrew Bynum can make in this team. At both ends of the floor, he can be a defensive anchor and such a good low post threat as well. If he can play like this, doesn't have to be huge, but minutes like this as Landry blocks Josh Powell's shot, coming up on a minute remaining. So for the West, it'll be the #1 seed Lakers against the #2 seeded Denver Nuggets. Congratulations to them on making their first conference final in 24 years. Chauncey Billups has done a tremendous job since being acquired. Kenyon Martin's defense, and of course Carmelo Anthony in full bloom in these playoffs. He has been superb.
And I love their bench. I love Denver's bench of J.R. Smith, Anthony Carter, and Chris Anderson.
Crowd, most of them on their feet. As we said, they were fired up to start. They booed the part of the national anthem that said Rockets Red Glare. They've been cheering ever since. And Kobe Bryant and the Lakers putting a pounding on the Rockets. A tough way for the Rockets to finish after a terrific season and such a hard-fought series for them. But it's the Lakers who will keep their dreams of an NBA championship alive. Lowry knocks down the three. So game one will be here Tuesday night. It's every other night for the conference finals. Game one on ESPN Tuesday night, 9 Eastern time. The draft lottery precedes that. Benga fires up the jumper. And Lowry will bring it up. As we said, Lakers' hopes of an NBA championship still alive as they survive against a gritty, tough Houston Rockets team, and now advance to the Western Conference Finals. A dominant blowout victory here in Game 7. At times it was a tough physical series, but showing respect now. Phil Jackson was very complimentary of the Houston Rockets. Jackson and Adelman have squared off against each other a number of times with different teams. And Kobe Bryant, only 14 points, but it was many of his teammates who came up huge. You always like to see this after a hard-fought series. And you saw Bryant and Shane Battier, those two competitors. Tough to find two guys who are more competitive than Battier and Bryant.
Well, it really shows you the respect level that guys have in this league. The appreciation that we can go to battle. It can get testy at times, but at the end of the day, it's nothing but love, respect, and admiration.
Bynum is going to be smiling after his best performance of the playoffs. Battier waving to some of the Rockets faithful. As the Lakers win to advance, Kobe Bryant right now with Doris.
Kobe, your team has been criticized throughout the course of this series for some inconsistencies in terms of effort and approach. Today, a different competitive spirit on the defensive side of the floor. Why?
You just got to pick it up. You know, the playoff series, you love to get opportunities back. We obviously didn't play as well on the road as we wanted to outside of Game 3. And we just had to come home, you know, put the last game behind us and perform well.
Andrew Bynum had the best game of his postseason. When he plays at that level, how hard are the Lakers to beat?
Well, it's tough. You know, he's very active defensively. Him and Powell both. You know, that's something that we talked about them doing, you know, a better job of in this game, just being more active defensively. And, you know, they provided a big spark for us.
I'm going to ask you to switch gears quickly. What's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of the matchup with the Denver Nuggets?
You know, another physical series. So, you know, we got our hands full with them. You know, we know they're rested. We know they're ready. You know, I know Melo and Chauncey, those guys, going to be ready, but we will be too.
You're smiling now. Congratulations. Mike.
All right, Doris. Bryant and his teammates set up the meeting, which will start Tuesday night right here at the Staples Center. Best of 7 Western Conference Finals. The Lakers and the Denver Nuggets, who won 54 games of their own to be number 2 in the West. And that'll start every other night, starting on Tuesday night on ESPN. Well, you don't say this every game about the Lakers, but their defense was superb as they easily win Game 7. We'll be back.